Today I'm going to show you how to do a backup. Simple reason for it is, well, something goes wrong, you may need to go and restore it. So, perfect example would be CoD4. It has a ranking system in it that is saved on your local hard drive, so anything goes wrong and you have to start all over again, well, that's just a pain. So why don't we just get started on doing that. Go to Control Panel. You may want to switch to the old view with the categories. The new look to XP, whatever you want to call it. Go to Performance and Maintenance. In here, you should find Backups. Just see, yep, back up your data right there. Now, I do not like the wizard. I actually hate the wizard. Go to Advanced Mode. Go to the Backup tab up here. Now, this is where you can select what you want to back up. I will be going right to the Call of Duty folder, which is in my Activision. Move this over. Call of Duty 4 right there. And I want to back up everything in there. Not just my data file, everything. Maps, the whole works. So I will check that. As you can see now, it already knows where to go, and this is what it's going to back up. So, now I'm going to go down here, I'm going to tell it where to save my backup and what name to save it by. So I'm going to go to my storage drive, which is really great if you have room to put backup to. I'm going to go to my system backups, and here I have a folder for Call of Duty 4, already made. The file name that is, as you can see, I already did this before. It's COD4, what I call my backup file. So I'm going to save that there. There you go. I'm going to do my backup now. So click Start Backup. Append this backup to the media. Yes, I don't have nothing else to replace there, so I won't need to replace it. This will be fresh. The backup description will be the day that it was created and the time. If the media is overwritten, use this label to identify the media. Well, again, like I said, I do not have any other media there to be overwritten. And when I do a next backup of this again, I will probably delete the old one just to save room and confusion. Okay. Do not need to do any advanced options. Just going to start the backup. As you can see now, the wizard will start to scan through the sections of information and will begin to back it up. And there you go. Now you'll notice that your time may go upward for the estimated time. It's not sure. It's backing up about 8 gigs of files here. Doing it relatively fast too. So in the meantime, I'm going to stop the video right now. I'm just going to pause it because this should be 20 minutes or so. Alright, so we're 1 minute and 26 seconds in here now. I'm just going to come back and just going to explain some of this to you. For those of you who had never used the backup utility before, for those of you who backups you think are just copying and pasting files, which is really, really stupid, but it's not that way. You should never do it that way for actual backups. Too messy. This here is the drive it's getting the backup from. This is the label, the status, backing up files from your computer, the progress bar, the time that is elapsed already, the time that it's estimated to take, and this here will tell you each file being processed. How many files are estimated to be processed, how many bytes are estimated to be processed, how many have been processed, and how many files have been processed. Your Call of Duty 4 will probably not be as big as mine. I have a bunch of custom maps in there, and I have the mapping tools for making levels installed. Alright, as you can see now we're 2 minutes in, 4 minutes to go. I'm just going to pause the video then, and when this is done, I'll come back. Alright, so we got our backup done here now. I can dead report if I like, no big deal. 9 minutes, 8 seconds. What time for me? So that wasn't too long. Maybe longer for you. Depends on the hard drives. Alright then. Now, next thing to do is to actually test the backup. Make sure the backup worked. Because if you don't test it and something happens and the backup did not back up properly, then the whole point of the backup was pointless. First of all, we'll make sure that is there. Yep, there it is. 8.70 gigabytes. Now, go back to my backup utility, restore and manage. So this would be the one I created today. I don't mind this. This tend to remember and log the ones that you done. Now, I'm going to go and save that to an alternate rotation. I'm going to restore the file to an alternate rotation. I don't suggest rewriting over the files that you just backed up, because if there is something wrong with the backup, you're just going to cause a problem for your for the real directory that hasn't been corrupted. Browse to your new rotation. So I'm going to go on my computer to my storage drive. I got my system backup folder here. I'm going to go to the Call of Duty folder. I should probably actually create another folder inside of that instead of backing it up right there and making that mess. So, back in here, my computer, storage, going to make a folder. So I'll have COD4, like so. Go back to my backup utility. Going to browse for that one. And that's where I want my backup that it made to restore itself, to test the backup, to make sure that the backup will work when it's needed. Okay, start restore. No files are selected. I didn't select the files. That's my fault. There we go. Double click on the backup I made. Check the box. This said that it'll come off a C drive, which it really won't. That's the actual drive it would record it. Alright, start the restore. Do not worry about advanced, just click OK. It will now mount the media to that folder. Then this will take some time to restore the backup, so again I'm going to pause the video. But before I do that, I will explain what's going on in this diagram. The drive is E, which is my storage drive. The label is the default label of the backup. And the status is restoring file to your computer. Progress, the time elapsed, the time estimated to take to get this done, the files that are being processed, the number of files that have already been completed, number of files that are estimated to be completed, number of bits or bytes, whatever you want to call it, that have been processed, and over here the number that is to be processed. Alright then, that's it. So I'm going to pause the video and be back when it's all done restoring the backup. Alright, back down here now. We seem to have the restore completed. Now we're going to go and check it out. Alright, let's see if that worked. It should have restored the Call of Duty 4 folder to my storage drive in a folder I made here. There we go, program files, Activision, Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. Everything appeared to be there, everything seemed to be working okay. Yep. Can even run it. Alright then. So there you go. That's how you make a backup file. Instead of having to go and copy all those folders and files and save them to some other folder, which can be a big problem in many different ways, you all have it now in this little tiny file. You can delete this. This was only to make sure that the backup worked. We know it works now. And thank you for watching.